Hello, welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today is a request. I posted a couple of videos recently using my wreath template that I've done with the grid paper, and I've had several comments of people asking me where I got it, how I did it, and all of those sorts of things. So I thought I would come on and show you. It's very easy. Our grid paper is absolutely perfect because our grid paper is designed to fit inside the Stamperators perfectly. So to do a wreath with the grid paper seemed to make sense. I've laminated mine. You don't have to laminate it. You can just make a few of them as and when you need them. So I thought I would show you very quickly how I make it. It's not a complicated, difficult thing. It's something that's fairly simple. The first thing you need is the grid paper. The grid paper is fantastic. It is in metric on one side and imperial on the other. I'm an imperial girl, so I do it in imperial. You can do it in metric as well. It's fairly simple. So all you need is a sheet of that. So let's get a sheet out like this and put that down. And then you need a ruler. And I use our Stampin' Right markers, the black, the basic black. You can get it singly, so again, it's absolutely perfect for this. And what you need to do is, I find measurements and things quite complicated, but I tend to get the sizes that I'm going to use. So 5 by 5 is the size that I use most often. If you just actually lie a piece of 5 by 5 onto the grid paper, you will see that it fits perfectly in the corners of each one of these squares. So if you're looking at it from down on the bottom, it would be the first square, which is on the way it's marked on the grid. It's at the 6 by 6 point. So you would make a little mark down on there. Like, oops, let's take the right end of it. Little mark down on there like that. And then the other top is, as I say, if you lay a piece down, it's easier if you're not somebody who does maths very easily. So if you're going up along this 1 inch strip here, which is at the 6 inch point, go up to the 1 inch point at the top and mark it in there. Take it across, mark it at the other point, and take it down at the bottom and mark it at the other point. So you've got 4 points marked. Then all you need to do is to take the Stampin' Right marker, and you are going to draw a straight line through from those points. So matching it up. I tend to turn it round as I go. You can use the fat or the thin nib. It's entirely up to you. This is the thin nib, and in fact it would probably be better to use the fat nib because it's going to show up a little bit easier. So let's use the fat nib on here. Just draw it down to that point, turn it round, and just measure it up to that point. As I say, there are all sorts of different templates that you can use. It's whatever works for you. Some people like the ones that are cut away. I just find this easy. And it's something that's simple to do. I'm going to do this one again because it's not going to show up quite as easily. So again, you just match up your points and draw yourself a line across on there. Okay, so if we look at that, we have got the 5 inch square sitting within these points. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it's 5 inches by 5 inches, it's 5 squares. So you could move it along from one side to the other. I like it in the centre, but you can move it where you want. Now, if you think half of 5 is 2.5. So on the measurement down the bottom, you need to make a mark, literally 2.5 inches in between each one. and that will come, as you can see on here, because I've centralised it in the grid, it comes at 3.5 inches on this one, 3.5 inches on that one, 3.5 and 3.5, because that's, I've centralised it on there. And then on this time, you literally, again, just join the dots. Let me get the ruler the right way round. I use a metal ruler. You can use any straight line that you have. So literally just take it up from one to the other. Draw it through. Take it down and draw it through on to this one. These will come right up to your edges. So when you put your paper into the Stamparatus, you can actually make sure that it is literally butted up. When you're doing the diagonal, it butts up right up to the top. So it's actually quite easy to use on there. So again, as I say, all you're doing is drawing a square through on there. So that gives you your 5 by 5. So let's put that back and then bring it round to the front so you can see that. So you have a 5-inch square coming down here, and you've got a 5-inch square coming literally halfway through whichever the 2 points you've done, because half of 5 is 2.5. So that's how you make the 5-inch one. If you're doing the 4-inch one, you do exactly the same thing. So you are going to line that up so that is centrally in between each one of those points. And the grid is perfect because it does these smaller squares. So again, all you would do is line it up and mark. If I bring this one back in, you can actually see, but it's the same process. You mark each one of the points there, draw along your line, work out what half of that point is from there. So turn it round so it's on that point, and that will come up to here and up to there on those points. Measure that down and then just draw in your 2 squares. You can take it down to a 3-inch by 3 inch as well. So if I bring my template back in, you can see on here the 4-inch by 4 inch is on here. So you can see that that's measured 4 by 4, and this actually comes in because I wanted it inside this one. So it comes in at the points in here. So this point is going to come down at the 5.5 inch mark on here, and 5.5 inch point on there. And the other side is going to come in at the 2.5 inches. And again, obviously it would be on the 5.5 there. But you can see from your grids, it's very difficult to sort of explain it on each one, but it is very, very simple. Take whatever piece of paper you want to work with, whatever piece of cardstock you want to work with. So a 3 by 3, just line that up across your grids. If you're worried about marking your points, just draw around it to start off with. Draw around it, work out your centre point between each one. So half of whatever you're doing. This is 3 inches, so half of that would be 1.5. Take your 1.5 inch mark up, mark it on there so it's exactly accurate between each point, and then just draw it round. As I say, I've just laminated it. The first one that I did, which will give you an idea, I did with just acetate, and as you can see I drew it on with our markers, and you can see if I fit that in here, it fits perfectly across on, this is a 5 by 5, fits perfectly along those lines because that's how we've drawn it. So that was the first one that I did. You can check back on my previous videos to see this template, but with our grid sheets, it's absolutely perfect. You can make one for each one, and as I say, you're then just literally going to use it as you would. Have a look back on the past couple of videos and you can see how it works. So it's a very quick one just for those people that had made the comments who'd said, how did I do it? How do I make it? That's how you make it. So I hope you'll have a try, because it is very easy and it does produce absolutely perfect circular wreaths. So thank you so much for watching me, and look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.